Hi everybody, so my name's Sally and I was introduced to the Metabolic Reset 9 years ago. It was an absolute game changer for me in every sense, because not only did I lose 25 pounds in 28 days, it's the first time in my adult life that I've kept the weight off. I was 50 when I did it 9 years ago. Now, I remember doing my first diet at the age of 16. It was a black coffee and boiled egg diet. And over the years, I have yo-yoed as much as 3 stone during a year. And there isn't a diet that I haven't done. And whether it was Weight Watchers or Slimming World or South Beach or Dukan or keto or cabbage soup, you name it, I've done it. And I've never, ever kept the weight off. Well, I know now it's because I was burning the wrong fat. I was burning lean muscle tissue, which structural fat, which actually slows your metabolism. So every time I was doing a diet and burning the wrong fat, I was slowing my metabolism, slowing my metabolism, slowing my metabolism. You get to past age 35 and you lose a certain amount of lean muscle tissue every year anyway, unless you're in the gym pumping iron. So you're slowing metabolism, slowing metabolism. So then it gets that you can literally look at a slice of bread, you haven't even got to eat it, and you've put on a pound. So it becomes really difficult to lose weight. So the metabolic reset is a phenomenal thing because it specifically targets visceral fat and it resets your metabolism back to its highest point, which is why it's easy to keep off. Now, there are 4 reasons that people put on weight. First one is lack of nutrients, because when our body's lacking, we crave, but we don't crave spinach and apples. We crave sugar and fat. And then you get stuck in a cycle, because when you eat sugar, your insulin levels shoot up. It's at that point that it converts to body fat. It plummets, leaving you craving more, which is why you constantly think you're hungry. So that's the first thing, is lack of nutrition. Second is when the body is acidic. An acidic body is a sick, inflamed body, and it's not functioning correctly. Third problem is poor gut health, and most of us have got poor gut health. And gut health is so important because it's important for the immune system, it's important for serotonin production in the gut. And as I say, the 4th reason is where we have lost the wrong fat and we have slowed our metabolisms down over the years. So these are the things that we need to address in the future to help keep the weight off as well once we've lost it. And I think that's one of the reasons that I've managed to keep the weight off for 9 years, is not only did I reset my metabolism, but I know my body's alkaline because of the products I take. I know my gut health is good. I know that I'm getting all the key vital nutrients, so my cravings have stopped. And because it's a physiological process that happens, a lot of things change in the body too. With people will notice a difference with their thyroid, with almost with diabetes. For me, I didn't ever used to get full up. I could eat and eat and eat and then eat some more and then probably eat some more. Now I cannot eat if I'm full. So it's almost like my full up hormone got switched on, which is fantastic. But not if you're someone who leaves the best bit till last, which is what I do, and then you're too full and you can't eat it. But anyway, it's a small price to pay. So also when I did the metabolic reset, all my body pain went. I had been previously begging for a knee replacement. Within 5 days of actually starting and being on the supplements, my knee pain had gone. And it was actually quite sort of shocking, really, but I haven't had that back in 9 years. My arthritic thumb pain's gone. I've had a receding gum on one side repair. I used to suffer really, really badly with sinusitis and thrush. I haven't had anything in 9 years, not even a cold. So it's been fantastic on every health level too. Now, the metabolic reset came about, it's based on some research that was done by a doctor, Dr. Simeons, back in the 70s. And he was curious why overweight women could virtually starve and not lose weight, why skinny people could eat and eat and eat and not put on weight. And he discovered that our hypothalamus gland is responsible for our metabolisms. And we can actually activate that and activate the metabolism that has sort of gone back to sleep sort of over the years, really. So we have a little activator sorts activate the hypothalamus. But the easiest way for me to explain is just to draw a diagram. So if you imagine in the body, this is a very rough picture of a body. We've got the head, we've got the brain, we've got the hypothalamus glands. This is the body. Now, our body uses fat, or 3 types of fat, really. we've got calories in versus calories out. This is our energy stores when we eat. If we're eating too many calories or too much sugar, it lays it down here around your middle. This is called visceral fat. It's a really dangerous fat because it contains lots of toxins, and it's the main cause of heart disease and diabetes. And it's an absolute science to lose visceral fat when you're losing weight or trying to lose weight. And then we've got a third type of fat, which is lean muscle. And the heart is lean muscle, so we don't want to be losing weight from the heart. And lean muscle tissue, structural fat, is underneath the skin. It's in the muscle, it's in the joints, you know, so we don't want to be losing that. And most people, when they're dieting, especially if they're crash dieting, that's what they lose. And that's when they end up with turkey necks and jowls and bingo wings and a hanging apron on their tummy. So traditionally, when we diet, in the way that people recognize in terms of cutting calories, what our body does is use up our energy stores. When our energy stores are depleted, our body needs to get energy from somewhere, so it turns to our lean muscle tissue. So if we carry on with a strict diet, we're going to lose lean muscle tissue, which is what slows the metabolism down, because it's structural fat, lean muscle tissue. We very rarely lose visceral fat. But on the scales, you think you've lost weight. So you think, oh, good. And then you go back to your way of eating, and then you put weight on, and then you do another diet and you use up your energy stores, and then you lose lean muscle tissue. You're not touching the visceral fat, but on the scales, you think you've lost weight. So even slim, underweight, healthy people can still have visceral fat, because visceral fat, the role of it is to protect the organs. It's the only reason for it. So we know that if we rest the body from fighting the toxins that we're putting in it, and we activate the hypothalamus, we can actually open the fat cells so that the visceral fat can actually move. So we have a little activator which activates the hypothalamus. It comes from Himalayan salt, but it's been radionically charged to activate the hypothalamus. And it opens the fat cells. But when this happens, your body is absolutely flooded with toxins. So we need to do a detox. So we have a minimum 21-day. We call it the diet phase. It's the detox. And during these 21 days, we're going to cut out everything the body isn't designed to metabolize. So we're going to rest the body so that when we stop taking the little activator, our hypothalamus gland can kick back in and start working by itself, so it can actually reset your metabolism. So during the 21 days diet phase, no alcohol, no carbs, so no bread, pasta, potatoes, rice, but also no peas, sweet corn or carrots. They fall into carbs, and so does fruit, no fruit. And people are horrified when I say there's no fruit, but there's no nutrients in it anyway. Plus, your body's going to be nutritionally supported. I'll talk about supplements in a minute. So no carbs at all, no fruit, no dairy. Because as humans, we're not actually designed to metabolize dairy, and the body sees it as a toxin. So we need to rest the body from fighting all this stuff that we put in it on a daily basis. No fats. Now, I know that there are good fats. I know that there are healthy fats. We can bring them back in the next stage. But during this detox phase, it's really strict. And then the other thing is no processed, no E numbers, no Diet Coke. No, if you think if it hasn't lived and it hasn't grown, you can't have it. Now, a lot of people think, oh my word, what am I going to eat? You can eat really well. You can have eggs, you can have fish, you can have meat. You can have lots of salad, lots of vegetables. We've got really good recipes. You can make a nice bolognese. You can make curries. You can eat really, really well. Cauliflower rice became my best friend because it was almost like on my plate I had white stuff. So I thought I had rice. I thought I had pasta. I thought I had potatoes. And then you can add your meat and your veg to that. You know, you can eat really, really well, and you can use herbs and spices and things. Now, if we went straight into doing this diet phase, our body would still do the same thing. It would still use up your energy stores, and it would still turn to the lean muscle tissue. But we need to protect this. So what we do before we even start this, we do 2 days of what we call loading. And we are going to eat 4,000 calories per day for 2 days of high-fat food. Now, people are horrified. You will not put on weight because you're taking the little activator salts. So what the loading, it's for 2 reasons. It's to load up your energy stores, because if we load up the energy stores, it's going to protect the lean muscle tissue. We want to protect the skin. But also it's going to shock your metabolism into working. It's going to give it a kick up the backside and wake it up. And the people that load the best lose the best. And because you're taking the activator salts, it's purely going to store here in your energy stores. It is not going to store here around the middle. So don't worry, you have to trust the process. And I've had people that haven't loaded and therefore they haven't lost. So it's really worth doing, and it's worth doing well, and it's worth planning. You can do it, and the best way to do it is with healthy fats, smoked mackerel, avocados, macadamia nuts, olive oil. You know, you could do a cheese board. And I always say to people, if in doubt, add double cream or sour cream, cheese and full fat mayonnaise. You know, you can do it, but it is worth planning. And you can always Google highest fat foods, highest good fat foods. Some people do choose to do it with Haagen-Dazs and chicken korma, but you just tend to feel a little bit rubbishy, really, if you're eating rubbishy foods. It's best to do it with healthy fats. So 2 days loading, diet phase, minimum 21 days. I did 28 days. Somebody will do 5 weeks, somebody will do 6 weeks. A friend of mine actually did, I think he did 8 months in the diet phase. You know, he lost, I think it was 40 kilos that he lost. But then after the diet phase, you go into what's called stabilization. And this is really important. And that's also for 21 days. Now, if I had £1 for everybody who didn't load properly and everybody who didn't stabilize properly, I'd be sat off on a beach in some exotic resort now, because this, and it's a shame because you've got such a phenomenal opportunity, as I say, not just to lose the weight, but to reset your metabolism and keep it there. So stabilization is really important, and the clue is in the name, because we need to stabilize the newly set metabolism. So you stop using the activator salts, and it's at that point that your hypothalamus gland is going to kick back in and start working by itself. So your metabolism resets. Now we need to stabilize it there. If we start adding toxins in too soon, it's going to dip. So we want to stabilize it there. So during the 21 days, the first 2 days, the only difference is that you're not taking the activator salt and you're still following the diet phase. But over the next 19 days, gradually, and I mean gradually, you're going to gradually introduce a little bit of dairy, a little bit of fat, a little bit of pulses, some peas, some nuts, some yogurt, some dairy, but you're still staying away from the 3 baddies, and that's alcohol, carbs, and processed. And what a lot of people make the mistake of doing is they go into stabilization and they go a bit crazy and they think, oh, I can have milk, I can have fruit, I can have nuts, I can have pulses, I can have carrots, I can have sweet corn, I can have peas. And they tend to go a bit mad and lose control. And then the next day their body's screaming at them and they don't know which one it is that's caused it. So stabilization for me is really important. When you go into the next 19 days, you just try one thing a day. Because a lot of people find with a totally cleansed body that when they start adding foods back in, they know what their body doesn't like. So one day, just try some milk. The next day, just try a little bit of fruit. The next day, just try some carrots. The next day, just try some nuts, but keep as closely to diet phase as you possibly can. It will also help you to keep in control. And a lot of people find that they will still lose 2, 3, 4 pounds during stabilization. Now, what some people do, they'll do it in cycles, and I'll share some photos in a minute to show you. So what you can do, there's different ways of doing it. You can do 2 days loading, 21 days diet phase, 21 days stabilization. Then somebody might go around and do another cycle. You always do loading, always do diet phase, always do stabilization. And or you can do longer in the diet phase. But stabilization is always 21 days. Doesn't matter how long you've done here. And then after that, you're sort of good to go. The key for me is keeping on the products, keeping on the supplements to stop your body going back to being acidic, to stop your body going back to craving. Now, most people that see this video with the Metabolic ReSet always probably previously know about Life Plus and the philosophy. So I won't go over it now because there's another little video that you can watch that explains the philosophy of what we need. But we need trace vitamins and minerals. So we need Daily Biobasics. This has got your fibre in, it's got all your trace vitamins, minerals, it's got all your gut health. We need the antioxidants. The antioxidants are helping your body to produce collagen and elastins. They're helping to shrink your skin back, which is really, really important. We also take the omegas because we know the omegas are really important for brain, eye, heart, lung function. And we want your body to get everything it possibly needs. The other thing that we take is MSM plus, because as the fat cells open and your body's flooded with toxins, we want to get those toxins out of your body as quickly as possible. So MSM binds to the heavy metals and toxins to take them out of the body. It's also a natural anti-inflammatory and a natural painkiller. So they're the 4 key products that we take during the Metabolic ReSet. Now, some people might not like protein shakes, but the protein shake makes a massive difference to your weight loss because it is pure protein isolates. We need isolates for our body to repair and for our body to burn fat, and we must have 3 lots of protein a day when we're doing the Metabolic ReSet. It's really important. Protein also keeps us fuller for longer, but because we cook our protein, we kill off a large amount of the isolates, and it's the isolates that are really important. So the protein shake is phenomenal, and I know that people have better results when they're taking the protein shake. So what you can do for breakfast is mix Daily Biobasics and protein, and that will keep you fuller for longer. It's a slow release protein, and it also makes the Daily Biobasics taste so much nicer. It's a game changer for taking Daily Biobasics. You can also have 2 protein shakes a day if you want. It's 2 meal replacements. Most people just do 1. But if you didn't have time for lunch, rather than skip that meal, have an extra protein shake. And they do it in a sweet vanilla, an unsweetened vanilla, and a chocolate. And then what a lot of people use, a lot of the Europeans use, and in the American website, if you just search MR on the website, you'll see an MR pack, Metabolic ReSet pack. And included in that pack is your Daily Biobasics, parenthenols, your omega-3s, your protein, your MSM plus, and included in that pack is Excel. They do it in an orange or a beetroot. Although saying that, I think the MR pack is just the beetroot. But what the Excel is L-arginine. And L-arginine helps to dilate the arteries to improve blood and oxygen flow. So it can really help with the metabolism as well. And it's getting all the nutrients to where they should be quicker. This is also really good for energy. So Excel is a great product. It also helps the body to produce nitric oxide, which cancer doesn't like. So that's my reason for taking it. I've carried on with all the products for 9 years. I'd never not be without them. So in the MR pack, you have Daily Biobasics, the parenthenols, the omegas, the MSM plus, the protein, and the Excel. But if somebody didn't want the Excel, then there is the Maintain. Oh no, there's a package called Program C Gold, which is protein, Daily Biobasics, parenthenols, omegas, but you still need the MSM plus. So I think it's probably good if I write or we write a list of actually what's needed. And you also need the activator salt. Now, as I say, it isn't just normal Himalayan salt. It's been radionically charged to activate the hypothalamus. And you literally just tip a few grains on your hand, maybe 10 little grains, and then you lick the back of your hand, and you're going to start the activator when you start the loading phase. It's really, really important. And we take that 15 to 20 minutes before breakfast, lunch, dinner, and again at bedtime. So we take it 4 times a day during the loading, during the diet phase. So I'll just share my screen. Bear with me while I get some photos up, and I'll show you some results from the metabolic reset, and I'll share my before and after picture, which I didn't think I would ever share with anybody. Bear with me. Hang on. Weight loss. Here we go. Let me just pick them out. Just show you some really good results. Hang on, I'm just scrolling down. Okay, just show these. So this was my before and after picture. I'm horrified when I look at it now, and I never thought I would share it in a million years, but I know I don't look like that anymore. But I think the biggest change for me, not only just the tummy, and if you look at my before tummy, you can actually see that I've got an overhang on my tummy. All of that has gone now because all my skin has shrunk back because the antioxidants helping your body to produce collagen and elastin. But it's my jaw and my neck, the difference. So that was 25 pounds in 28 days. This is my friend Lisa's mum, Beryl, and this was just 10 days into the reset. And if you look at the difference in the colour of her skin, because the antioxidants are improving blood flow, but if you look at her eyelids, her jowls and her neck, and that was just in 10 days. Oh, that's Steve's after picture. This is my friend Steve. I met Steve on a plane coming back from Germany, and we got chatting. Steve obviously wanted to lose that tummy, but he also had really high blood pressure, and he had psoriasis, and he was type 2 diabetic. Steve lost 3 stone in 6 weeks, and his blood pressure normalized after 5 days. His psoriasis went, and he went back to his doctors and had his bloods tested, and he's now no longer classed as diabetic. So it was absolutely brilliant for him. And the good thing is that because you maintain muscle mass, you don't end up with skinny arms and legs. You're just losing it from where you should lose it. That was literally the day that I met him on the left, and that was him 6 weeks later. This was a lady who did the reset, and she was disappointed because on the scales she'd only lost, it was 5 kilos, which is about 11 pounds. But until she saw her before and after picture, and she actually didn't have it to lose. That's a really good thing, that even slim people can do this, and it won't let you lose it if you haven't got it. But it's a really good way to cleanse the cells, to detox the cells. And then this is a lady called Dawn who lost 5 stone in 19 weeks. Now, if you look how beautiful her skin looks, if she'd done that in any other way, losing that amount of weight, she wouldn't have had beautiful peachy skin like that. She'd have ended up with jowls and a turkey neck. And then this lady, she actually did 3 cycles back to back. And if you look at the cellulite on her bottom, that's the MSM plus, where the fat cells open, and the MSM plus is cleansing the cells. So it's a phenomenal thing. And so she did 3 cycles. So she did 2-day loading, 21 days diet phase, 21 days stabilization. She went around and did it again, all three stages, went around and did it again, all 3 stages. And then this is one of my German colleagues, and look at the difference it's made to her in every way, the brightness of her eyes. She's confident enough to get rid of the scarf, to get rid of the glasses, to have her hair cut short. I mean, it looks like her daughter. And then this is an amazing result. This is 13 months between these photos. So you can see that she's lost weight between the first and the second, but she's carried on taking all the products, and look, you can see how her skin has carried on improving, her skin clarity, her skin quality, the brightness of her eyes. She's lost all the darkness around by her eyes. It's fantastic. So that's basically it in a nutshell, but it is the most fantastic thing you will ever do, and you'll learn so much about what your body needs and actually what we don't need. But there are so many people have so many health benefits while they're doing it. You know, with me, with my knee pain, there's lots of people that have really good results with fibromyalgia, with arthritis, and it's basically because not only are you losing weight, but your body's becoming alkaline, which is important. You're addressing gut health, and your body's getting all the key vital nutrients that are missing. So yes, good luck.